Hello everybody. I want to talk to you about your sketch assignment this week because it is a little challenging, but everything we've been doing up to this point has been leading us to where you are on this sketch. So if you've been doing all of the stuff we've been doing in class and on your other sketch assignments, this should be okay. So your assignment is you are going to be drawing a piece of crumbled notebook paper. And before I play the time lapse of shading this one, I want to give you a few reminders about what you need to do. First of all, you need a piece of notebook paper to draw from. Don't draw this from your memory. Don't draw this from, just what you think a crumbled piece of notebook paper is going to look like, because if you do that, it's just going to be like a little scribbly line on your paper, and that's not what a crumbled piece of notebook paper looks like. So take a piece of notebook paper and actually crumble it. Now, I would do like a loose crumble, right? Like this. I would not take a piece of notebook paper and crumble it up into a tight little ball of paper, because that's going to be really difficult to get the lines and to get all the shading, and it is just going to look like a scribble on your paper. So make it a little bit loose, and you can just set it in front of you and sketch out a contour line drawing. Now, if you remember, contour line is just the outside shape of something. Let's say that you have a hard time transferring this 3D form into a flat shape, the contour of it. You can take a photo of your paper, which is what I did for this piece right here. And whenever you have a difficult time drawing something in 3D, you can always make it 2D by taking a photo. And then it's pretty easy to see on this photo the contour line of this paper. So you're not going to do every detail on the contour sketch, but you can get an idea of what this shape is, right? So sometimes it's easier to draw something from a flat surface than to translate the 3D surface. Now, eventually you'll get to where you could just look at that 3D form and you'll train your eye to see the outside contour line of it. If you're not there yet, that's okay. Go ahead and take a photo of it and you can draw from the photo. You don't even have to print it out. You can just look at it on your screen and observe what is the outside contour of that drawing. So having done that, this is the outside contour of this piece of paper. Then once I do that, the part that I'm looking for is the values, which is what we're studying this week. Which is the darkest part? And you can identify, you could even outline a shape. This is going to be a darker value. This is probably the darkest value. All of this under here is a dark value, and it gets lighter right there. So you can go through and identify which is the lightest part. This whole of the paper is pretty dark. This one is pretty light. So you can kind of see which values are the darkest. You can mark those on your paper. You could even mark out this little area. And I know that when I go to start shading that, this is a darker value than this next to it. And you're gonna have to go slow. This is kind of a slow process where you're gonna be shading, and you can use your blending stump to shade it in, blend it around, make it nice and smooth, all right? Once you get your basic shading done, you're gonna take a colored pencil, and you can use red. I think I've got like a kind of a hot pink, but you can use red and blue of your colored pencils. And the lines are going to be super important. The lines, you can see on mine, they curve the way that you crumbled the paper. So they're not just going to be straight across. Don't do the lines from memory. Do them based on what you are actually seeing. Actually look at the crumbled piece and where does the line bend? Where does it change direction? Where does it overlap? Where can you not see the line? What is the direction of the red line or the pink line that goes down the edge of the paper? Can you see all of it? Here's what I often see on some some crumbled notebook paper, you know, drawings for your sketchbook. I'll either see just a little made up from memory, there's my little crumbled line, and they'll put some crumbles in it. That is not what you're looking at if you're looking at it in real life, right? That's not what we're seeing. The other thing I see is that, let's say you got the contour line correct and you shaded it, and you know, you got it pretty decently shaded. Then the lines are either going to make this drawing or break this drawing. So if you take you can use a ruler if you choose to. If you'll notice in the time lapse, I used a ruler for some of the areas, but then a lot of them I just freehanded because they aren't straight across. They curve and they go up and around certain areas. But I have seen some of this. The lines on a crumbled piece of paper do not go straight across the entire surface. It's going to flatten it out and make it look like it doesn't move at all. It doesn't bend at all. So don't flatten it out in this way. Really pay attention to where things curve. Once you get it shaded and once you get the lines on there, and I still need to go back and do this, I'm going to take my pencil and really carefully look and see, did I put the right shadows? Do I have the right amount of shadows? Is it darker right where it connects? And go back and clean it up and get it, you know, get it situated. I made a stray mark over here, so then I just ended up making a little background, and I may go back and fix that or erase that. I might darken up down here. Just like on any drawing, you want to have some dark values, some medium, and some light to make it look like it makes sense. So when you're doing this, take your time, do not rush. Remember, your sketch is designed to take you about an hour. So if you spent 2 minutes on it, that's, you know, not okay. You need to spend at least an hour on it. Does it have to be perfect? No, but it does have to look like you put some effort into it and you gave it a good try, and that you sat with it and really worked with it for about an hour, right? So this is not an hour's worth of work. So if you're turning this in, please don't go back, take your time and really focus on what you're doing. And I can't wait to see how they come out.